When you think of history, you probably think of textbooks, archives, museums, and maybe even John Green. But what about the history on the walls, on the sidewalks, and the canvases? That's right, art. California is one of the most diverse states in the country. It is home to cultures, voices, and histories from all over the world. Yet not all voices have been equally heard in our history books. And that matters, because if history doesn't represent everyone, it's not complete. Art created by and for marginalized communities helps us see the stories that were overlooked, erased, or never told.
The marginalized communities, they benefit from seeing themselves in places that traditionally they have not been seen before, and that helps empower them. And also, I think people who are they're traditionally empowered benefit from seeing that community can be in that space too.
Let's take a look at how local art made by and for communities of color challenge dominant narratives and empower the people it represents. We begin with the East Palo Alto Community Archive, a powerful example of preserving community history through photographs, stories, and oral histories. EPACA documents a city shaped by migration, struggle, and deep-rooted cultural pride. But remembering history isn't just about saving the past. It's about also honoring those who shaped it. And in East Palo Alto, some of the most powerful stories come from everyday heroes. This spirit of preservation continues in Heroes and Legends, a public art installation that honors under-recognized grassroots leaders, many of whom are Black, Latinx, or Pacific Islander. These are the people who built East Palo Alto, but are often left out of mainstream history. These tributes to local changemakers don't just live in parks or archives. Today, young people are stepping up to tell their stories too, with paint, pride, and even a water tower. The next generation is also shaping the city's narrative. In 2023, local teams came together to paint a mural on the East Palo Alto water tower, a bright, joyful reminder of youth power, creativity, and cultural pride at the city's gateway. Not far from the tower, artist Scape Martinez transformed the walls of Jack Farrell Park with a spray paint mural celebrating East Palo Alto's cultural richness. Bold colors and stylized figures reflect the vibrant identities that make up this community. Immigration has always been central to East Palo Alto's story. At Costanio Elementary, Immigration Nation, created by Ras Martin and over 50 community members, shows flags stitched into a map of the United States, carried by immigrants. It's a visual reminder of who holds this country up. In 2020, the streets of Palo Alto became a canvas for protest. The Black Lives Matter mural on Hamilton Avenue reclaimed public space to demand justice and visibility, especially in areas where marginalized communities have long been ignored. And finally, in San Francisco, celebrating diversity by Caleb Duarte echoes a regional message of unity. With children rising from a vivid collage of color, the mural affirms that every culture contributes to the beauty and the future of the Bay Area. Art, especially community-driven art, often tells a different story than traditional accounts of Californian history. This project matters to us because we live in these communities, and because we want to understand what stories were told before us and which ones weren't. Art can help fill in those gaps. It keeps memory alive. So ask yourself, what stories are missing in your neighborhood? What history lives in your streets, your walls, or your local park? Because the next time you see a mural, a painting, or a work of art on a water tower, you can remember that history lives where people speak, and art speaks loudly.